Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. I am a couple minutes early. I want to try and get my secondary device working because it always takes me quite a while. So hop on in, say hello. I'd appreciate it. Let me know you're there and you're watching. And I'll see if I can't get my comments pulled up as soon as somebody comments. And I don't believe it, but I think that they may be working the first time, which never happens. So if somebody could just say hello, I would know. Anyhow, welcome. My name is Alicia, and again, I'm the ambassador for the Stencil Smith. My company is called the Chardon Sign Shack. Yay, look at that. I can't believe it. Usually it's third or fourth time's the charm, but today the gods are with me. I don't know what's going on, but the very first time I got my comments on my secondary device to work. So yay, it's going to be a good day or a good afternoon. So welcome, welcome. Hi, April. Let me swipe them away on my other device so I can see better, which you may not know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about, which is hopefully a good thing. So anyhow, hello and welcome. I'm so glad to be here. We have a beautiful, beautiful day here in Northeast Ohio. We're going to jump into Christmas crafting. I'm all wonky here. There we go. I'm all wonky. At least I remembered to change into my Stencil Smith apron. But anyhow, hello and welcome. Hi, Patty. Hi, Donna. Hi, April. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Bonnie. Judy. Feel like I'm missing people. Sherry. But anyhow, if I missed you, I'm so sorry. Hello and welcome. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Ann. Make sure to hop on, say hello. Make sure to sprinkle. If you're unsure what sprinkling is, it means to do this. If you're new, I forgot to send my Telegram announcement out. Darn it. So anyhow, I promised some people I would do that and I forgot to. Oh well. Next week I'll try and remember. Can't be perfect, right? Don't want to set like a precedence of being perfect. So anyhow, make sure to sprinkle. It means to do this. So we're doing a Rudolph sign today, so I thought it would be appropriate. One of my other favorite cartoons when I was growing up was Frosty. So this is Frosty's baby picture, and it's a mini, and it is going to be the giveaway today. It is number 5583, and this is the 5.5 inches. So Frosty's baby picture, how cute is this little guy? And that is the giveaway today. If you sprinkle, you have to write sprinkle. Hi, Arlene. You have to write sprinkled in the comments. So we're doing a Rudolph thing today, and we're adding some stuff to it. I did this one a couple years ago, and I always wanted to do it for a live, and I never did. So now we're doing it. So the stencil today that we're doing is 1894, and the size I have is a large. So a large, I think there's two other sizes. I think probably a medium and extra large are the two other sizes. Isn't it adorable? I love the font. I love Rudolph. That was my all-time favorite Christmas cartoon. Ooh. And then you'd have Frosty. Remember waiting all year with anticipation for those Christmas cartoons? There was Frosty, there was Rudolph. Oh, there was the Grinch. There was Charlie Brown, and then there was the one I really liked, but I think it came later. You didn't see it all the time, but it was, hi Nancy, how are you? Hi Casey. It was The Year Without Santa Claus, and it had the Heat Miser, and the Cold Miser, and Mother Nature, I think, was their mom, but it was really cute. So, be good for goodness sakes, right? So anyhow, this is the stencil today. It's 1894, and I'm using the large size. It's on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off, and you can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK, which is SIGNSHACK, and you can use that any day, anytime to save an additional 15% off. So I'm going to set this aside. So make sure to sprinkle so you can get entered in for that free Frosty Frosty Mini. Let me get a little sip there. I'm sorry. It's really warm here again. It's almost 80 degrees on the last day of September in Northeast Ohio, which is pretty darn nice, and it's not humid. So that's even nicer. Okay, so now the board I used is a 1x12. So it's a 1x12. And I cut it, I don't know how long I cut it, but I'll tell you in a minute. 36 inches, so 3 feet. So 3 feet, and it's a 1x12, so it's like 11.25 inches. Not quite 12 inches. You know the way those boards run, they say 1x12, but they're not 12. So what I did with this board, I'm going to angle you down, is you can see how it's like distressed. You can kind of see through. I did this ahead of time. I didn't want to do it on camera, but I will describe what I did. So what I did was I put 2 coats of Minwax, I think this is just black, True Black. So Minwax water-based stain, True Black. I put 2 coats on this board, you know, of course, let it dry. And then I put 2 coats of this Fusion Mineral, and you could use any white. I just used Fusion Mineral Casement. So Fusion Mineral Casement, and it's a nice bright white. 87, and you're, oh wow, that's really warm. It's not that warm in North Carolina. Aren't you getting like a storm or something, Carol? Yeah, it's really nice here. It's just, I love these kind of fall days. It starts off cool. I'm still trying to get some of this off. So then I took my orbital sander after it dried nicely. I did rush it a bit today because I was running behind as usual. Normally I would let it dry like overnight, but I just let it dry about an hour. And I got my orbital sander out, and I used Grit 120, and I sanded it. So you can see how, you know, I just randomly, I tried to do it more on the bottom. It's a little thinner in the middle, and then kind of at the top here and around the edges and stuff. And then, you know, the back is black. So it's a little distressed. I'm trying to get it, see how I distressed it. So you just work with it. It can be very 74 in East Tennessee. Well, we're warmer than you, Kimberly. That's unusual, I would say, probably. Hi, Patricia. So that's what I did to get that look. And it can be really scary to distress and really stressful sometimes. But if you don't like it, it's just paint, and you can paint right over it. You might waste some paint, but you can definitely paint over it. So it's 86 and warmer than you like it. Yeah, we haven't had any rain either, Becca. We are in a drought. Like, we can't get rain here. We can't buy it. That's all it did, like the month of May. So I'm going to try, I think, because this is a longer board, I think I'll try to bring my camera around to the side so you can see the whole length of it. Trying to decide which one I want to be my top. I think I want this to be my top. And I'm going to stencil towards you. So we'll turn it this way. And I am going to switch some things around here. Hopefully I don't make you ill. I'm going to switch it. So you're going 73 in Jersey. Yeah, it's almost 80. We're only going to be in the 60s tomorrow, like 68. But then we're right back up in the 70s. I was looking like 77. Let's see if I can get that. That's what I'm going for. There we go. Okay. That's what I wanted, because this is a longer board. So I wanted to flip you around there so you could see better the board as I do it. So let me get the stencil. So this is the stencil we're doing today, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, leaves are falling. Our lilac bushes, it's the weirdest thing. We had lilacs bloom last week, but we have no leaves on the tree. The leaves fell probably, they didn't turn. They fell probably about 2-3 weeks ago. So this is the stencil here. Look how pretty that is. It's kind of hard. Let me see. There, I'll put it on the brown paper so you can see it better. But, you know, it's the song, you know, Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall, right? Yep, the most famous reindeer of all, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I'm going to be using this, and I love the different fonts. I think that's super cool on that. So, this is a very old one. It's 90 in Missouri. Yeah, we're in a drought too. 87 in Columbus. Ooh, I know you don't like that, April. It's only about 80 here. Your lilac, same there? Yeah. It's really weird. Jeff's like, we have lilacs. I'm like, well, they bloom in May, so that's really strange. So I'm using this stencil, and this is going to be on the bottom. And then this is one. These are not on sale, but you can save 15% on these stencils as well. I'm using these. Now you could just do this. You could totally just do this. And you'd have a shorter board and everything. But I wanted to add a couple other things to it. So this is stencil number 9804, and this is the small. And you can see this is the last one I did. I used a Santa from, and I love like the sleigh. It's got the little curly cues. So this is going to go at the top. Last time when I did a Santa, this one hadn't been released yet. So I used a Santa and flipped it over so it would go the right way from one of my rounds. And it fit, but it was a little short. And then I'm going to use this beautiful sweater pattern here. I believe it's poinsettias. And this is number 7817. And this is the small. So look how pretty that is. And I'm going to use that as a layer in between here. So we're going to be doing all of this. And I'm going to set these two to the side. And I'm going to start with the one that's on sale today. The main stencil, the main event one. And again, I love this. I think it's so pretty. And I didn't want to distress it too much. Sometimes when you distress it too much, it's your words get kind of muddied. So I tried to keep it where it was just showing through just a little bit. Not a huge amount. I might come up just a little bit more. Oh, thank you for sprinkling. I know the sweater patterns are so pretty. And I do have new stencils to show you, but I have my book open over here, so I'll show you a couple of the other sweater patterns that I have. You might want to add a different sweater pattern to this. So I think I'm going to bring that about right there. I think. Okay, and make sure it's straight because I'm doing this sideways. It looks straight to me. And so again, this is a 1x12. And there is a medium size now. Ooh, I hope there's enough red in here. Let me get a toothpick to get this big gob of dry paint out of here, because I can feel it's not going to come out. And then I'm going to get a paper plate too, which I did not get. I always forget something. It's kind of like the Cleveland Browns. We have a saying here in Cleveland, they always almost win. And if you're a Browns fan, you'll get that. Jeff watched the Guardians today. The baseball playoffs have begun, and sadly, they have lost the first game. And there's only 3, so they had kind of, ooh. Yeah, it's right at the end. I'm going to get over here and do that. Let's see if I can get it out without, okay. That should be enough. But I'm going to leave that upside down. That's at the end of the life for that. So I think I'm going to get a 1/2-inch brush, and I like to use shop towels to offload on. So I'm going to use a shop towel. And if you're new to stenciling, you just want to get a little bit of paint on your brush like that, on the tip of your brush. You can see where it's a little globby, maybe. Hopefully it's kind of blurry for me. But you want to get that on the tip of your brush and then offload. And if you don't get your paint off, get enough paint off, you're going to, you are going to get bleeds. I wonder if I should do, I might do those in black. I'm going to do the lettering, but I think I'm going to do these little curly cues here in black, because I'm going to do the Santa in black, and the sweater pattern, I believe I'm going to do in red. So I'm just simply swirling those in here. That's how I like to stencil, and you could have even used the 5/8 brush on this, I think. And you'll see it better, and I'm picking up a little bit more paint, and I'm going to offload. You always want to offload as you do this. Maybe I'll do the and. Maybe I'll do the ands in black too. I think I'll do that. We'll mix it up a little bit. Do the words in red. Ooh, this is hurting my neck doing it this way. I think I'll do these in. I don't know how to look, but we'll see. I always like to try something new. Make it just a little bit different. Tweak it a little bit from the last time I made it. And I think I'll do, so I think I'm going to do the words in this red. And so these little swirlies here I'll do in black. So I'll get the words in here, or the letters that spell out the words. So what was your favorite cartoon as a child growing up? And I'm just going off the fact that I'm thinking you're probably all around the same age as I am. Thanks, Heather. It is a fun stencil, Cindy. Thank you, Christina. What was your favorite? Mine probably was Rudolph. I just loved the story of the misfit, and he became the hero, and, you know, the underdog, all that. That resonates, that, I know I'm not saying that right. That touches my heart. I'll go with that. How's that? I believe you know how you say words sometimes and they come out and you're like, wait a minute. Am I even saying that right? I think that's it right. That resonates with me. But I could be saying it wrong too. So I'm leaving all the dashes and ands and swirlies blank, and I'm going to do those in black. Hey Donna, how are you? Hi Sue, thank you for sprinkling. Frosty the Snowman was yours. Okay. Yeah, I'm a swirler. Love to swirl. It's very relaxing and therapeutic. Ooh, I didn't want to do the and. I'm going to do that in black. I don't know how that'll look, but we'll see. Last time I did them all in red. This was one of the earlier stencils that I ever bought, because as soon as I saw it, I just fell in love with it. I absolutely love it. So we're starting on our Christmas crafting. I know a lot of people are getting ready for their Christmas craft shows. I am not. We were going to do one. I'm glad we're not. Hi Donna, how are you? It's kind of a relief. You guys that do this, like, we were talking to somebody at the craft show, and it was a husband and wife team, and they did, I forget what he said, like last year they did something like 41 or 51 shows, something like that, because they wanted to find out what shows were the best and what weren't. So Charlie Brown was such a good one too. And Charlie Brown's always an underdog as well. He always almost gets to kick that football. But darn it, Lucy, she should let him do it sometime, right? At least that's the way I feel. So we're just going to swirl this red in here. And this is Fort York red, I think. Yep, Fort York red. And this is Fusion Mineral. Kimba the White Lion. I don't recall that one, Carol. I'm going to have to look that one up. I don't recall ever seeing that one. It sounds good, though. It was so fun that time of year. Our mom made it so special for us, like I'm sure your parents did. I mean, my dad did too, but, you know, he was a guy. Typically, they're not as into, like, gift buying and stuff like that. I remember one time I took Jeff Christmas shopping with me. I always did it myself because he worked a lot, and he worked a lot of Saturdays. You would be so excited. You know, you'd get like the catalog, the Sears catalog, and you'd look through it, and, you know, all the special dishes that your mom would make, or, you know, maybe you'd bake together, the little rituals you had. It's all fun. It's all just great memories. Well, congratulations, Bobby. The Stencil Smith, let me tell you a little bit about them. They are just absolutely wonderful. I know most of you know, but there might be somebody new on here, so I do want to, I'm doing my second coat here too, by the way. They are a company, this is their 19th year. They'll be 20 years. Next year they'll have their 20-year anniversary of being in business. They have over 10,000 stencils. Like, it's just astronomical. Like, this one is 1,894. This is a very old one that they did. And boy, a lot of those oldies, they're just wonderful. They're just little gems, little hidden gems. You know, lots of times you only see the new ones, which are just gorgeous. I mean, what did she release today? Oh, the snowman with the angels, and then the new nutcracker, and the light bulbs, the leaner and the matching door around. And oh my gosh, it just, as soon as I place an order, I am filling my cart all up again. It's just the nature of the game. But anyhow, I think I got off track there. They are over 20 years old, or not 20 years old. They're almost 20 years old. And so they're 19. I have been their ambassador for, I believe, 3 years this past fall. I think. I would have to go back and look at my first video to make sure. But they are just a fabulous company to work with, to work for. I'm very proud to represent them. Pete and April are a husband and wife team. He designs, she designs. It's definitely a mom and pop shop. And they're just fabulous. I mean, I can't say enough good things about them. They treat people so well. And the stencils are never out of stock. They're made out of 10 mil Mylar, which is very nice and thick. And you also get the wonderful freebies. Like, this is a freebie here I just got with my last order, Thankful, which is just gorgeous. These are some from last year. Oh, maybe not last year. Could have been 2 years ago. I don't know. Joy. These are some I pulled out. Freebies last couple years. But she always pops a freebie in there, which is so nice of her. So kind. The spooky one that she put with the ghost was very, very popular with people. And then the pumpkin with the vines was, these last freebies. But anyhow, everything you order is made in the USA. These brushes, if you have not used their brushes, make sure to use their brushes. Everybody will tell you that's on here that uses them that they're the best brushes they've ever used, and it's not a lie at all. You're welcome, April. It's the truth. They take like she doesn't like do, I should say personal requests, but she always takes ideas. And like the snowman with the angel wings, he looks like a little prim snowman. He's so cute. He was a request. I think Kimberly must have requested her. But she just is, she's a phenomenal designer. I'll be like, hey, April, look at this. Isn't this cool? Or what a great idea. And like an hour later, she's like, look what I did. But you can get all their stencils in different sizes. If these sizes don't work for you, as long as it is, doesn't make the font or the picture look wonky, she can resize it to a different one for you. And they clean very easy. They last. They never wear out. I haven't worn one out yet. Now I haven't, but my grandson did melt one, so you got to be careful. You can always use your dryer on your stencils, but you just have to hold it up and move it around. But yes, if you're having any kind of the shipping, I forgot about that, Patricia. I didn't even touch on that. Thank you. The shipping is like lightning fast. It's just unbelievable how fast it is. It's really, really, it's just the best company out there with the best people. So I am proud to represent them. It makes me happy doing what I do. I love connecting with all of you. And sometimes I miss things. Like if I miss things, guys, or if April misses something, just message us, please, because I used to be able to go back and read all the comments after a live, but I can't anymore. There's so many more people now, and it takes a long time. So if there's ever anything, I try to read them as they go by, but lots of times I miss stuff. Or sometimes Facebook is weird, and it just doesn't show me all the comments. It does that too, guys. Sometimes it's a real bugger. So, and some of this black is showing through the red, which is fine, that I have distressed underneath. That's fine, because I'm going for a distressed look, so I'm good with that. So let's just get that, and you can use any water-based acrylic paint that you want. I like Fusion Mineral and I like Deco Arts. I use those two a lot. I really like, oh, that's a dash there. I really like Fusion Mineral for my outside signs because it has a built-in top coat, but then I also top coat it with Rust-Oleum 2x matte spray. Okay, now I'm going to fill in the dashes. So as you're stenciling, you can always get a baggie and get a wet wipe. Oh, I'm almost out of wet wipes. I'm down to the part where you're going to have to grab them and wring them out. But yeah, don't ever feel weird about messaging me or April or that you're bothering us. It's not a bother at all. Just sometimes I don't always respond right away. I try, but you know how that goes. I'm so glad you like them, Sharon. You're right, Marie. I agree. Thank you. I know when I say it, people will agree because I know I've been using them for quite a while now. And honestly, I wouldn't want to represent somebody that wasn't as good as them. Okay, this is stuck. Let me get it open. This is Deco Arts Lamp Black. Oh, So there we go. So Deco Arts Lamp Black, and I'm going to put a little bit out. And I'm going to get a smaller brush for this, probably a 1/4 inch, to get these little swirlies and stuff. I'm going to do them in black. All the little extras I think I'm going to do in black. I wasn't going to, but I decided at the last minute I'm going to, so. A girl's allowed to change her mind, right? I change it lots and lots of times. And it's funny how sometimes you think something is going to look so good, you have it in your mind and planned, and you do it and you're like, oh, what happened? That didn't turn out the way you wanted it. So these are really nice. Or even the micro brushes, which they are now in stock and you can order. These little, they're the 1/8 inch micro. Oh, I'm so glad, Carol. The shipping is top. Now, hi, Maggie. How are you? But these little micro brushes are amazing, and they're back in stock. I didn't know they were out of stock, but they're back in stock. If you've been waiting for those, that would be good for this situation, too. They're good for getting in those tight spaces. But I think I can get by, perhaps, with my 1/4 inch, maybe. I don't know. I might need to get a micro out too for some of them. It's like one of those situations where it's going to be too big for stuff like that. You just got to be careful. Oh, I missed part of it. Or it'll be too little for something like this. And when it's smaller than you need, it takes a lot longer to get done. So you want to work with a brush that works. Okay, let's do that. There's another and here. Now I got to find all my little dashes and stuff and not miss any. Hopefully. I hope everybody had a good weekend. It was a beautiful weekend here. It was my daughter's birthday on Sunday. She is now 38 years old. I can hardly believe it. 38 years old. Let's see. Yep, right there. You get a little dash. And I just want to make sure I got all of them, because I feel like it's like when I close bridges, I'll forget one. So I'm going to give this a quick little dry, and I'm sorry I have my noisy one. I was using that earlier because it does dry better, but my little quiet one I've been trying to use on the lives. But see, you can dry on your stencil. Just make sure to move it around and not hold it in one spot, because you will warp it. My grandson warped one of mine one time. Thank goodness it was just a little mini. And he was drying some paint, and he dried right over it. There was a mini underneath the stuff. He didn't know it. I didn't know it. And boy, it curled. And they did say, thank you. Your son turns 38 this year also? Oh, maybe, yeah. I haven't had that happen, yeah. But yeah, I love my Stencil Smith brushes. And April did look for a long time. She had me try a lot of brushes out. And she sent me these ones, and she's like, just give these a try. And I just knew, and she knew the minute, you know, she was like, that's the one I've been searching for. And those are made in the USA as well, the Mylar, everything. And like I said, I think I said they're never out of stock, which is a huge plus, I think. There's nothing more frustrating than watching somebody do a live or something like that, and you want to order things, and or even like with shampoo or you know, anything you want to order, a top. I like Natural Life And they're like, yep, it's out of stock. It's like, darn it. Okay, I think I have everything twice, so I'm going to pull this off. Ooh, I got to bleed. Okay, so look how cute that is. Do you like that with the black? Let me move that. I got a bleed up here. So I am going to take, now see, it happens to me. It's not just like if it happens to you, it happens to everybody. But look how cute that is. And let me get a wipe here. Oh, I forgot. But you can take, like, you could take a toothpick. Let me see if I can find one right here. And you can kind of, oh, that one's not very good. Not a very good example. And you can kind of take the toothpick and just scratch at it. If it's wet enough, you can wipe it off with a wet wipe. And of course you can also touch it up with, but yeah, I got a little bit of a bleed on the O's right there. Don't know why, not sure. But that's okay. But I really like that. Do you like that, guys? With the distressed and the red and black so far. So this is what we've got going so far. Oh, they're amazing, Patricia. They're really, really amazing. So I'm going to move this down a little bit, and we're going to work on the next section. I have to place it. I want to put the Santa up here. So I want to see where they're going to go. I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put the Santa on, and then I will put the sweater on, kind of in the middle. So that's in the middle. But let me get my pieces of tape over here. And if you're just joining and you haven't sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle. This is the giveaway for today. This, it's hard to see, Frosty's baby picture. How cute is that? And this would look really good with like a red background and white lettering, or black and white. All the ways. So I think I'll bring it about right there. I want to make sure it's centered. And I'm just going to do this as a silhouette in black. So I'm going to get my black brush. Yeah, it's on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And then with my code sign check, you'll save an additional 15%. So I'm going to get a little bit more of this black, and I'm going to offload my brush. This is a really pretty stencil. I haven't used this one yet, so I'm happy to be able to add this into something. This silhouette. And of course, you know I'm going to make one of the noses glow, because that's going to be Rudolph, the one in the front. And I think I'm just going to stick with the two colors. The red and the black is all I'm sticking with in this. And of course it'll take 2 coats. So my son next week, I don't know what day, but October 7th, might be a Tuesday, he will be 35. He's the youngest, and my daughter's the oldest. 35 and 38. And then my grandson, he went to homecoming. I haven't put his picture on Facebook yet, but they go to kind of a country school, I guess you would call it. Like the last day of school, they ride their tractors. Senior day, they ride their tractors to school, or whatever tractor they have. But it wasn't just him. Him and a bunch of boys, they wore flannel shirts and blue jeans to homecoming. I was very devastated. I wanted him to to dress up. The girl was fine with it. She's like, oh, that's how I want him to dress. And I was like, oh my goodness, times have changed. Even my son was like, man, I can't believe that. So we're going to go see my son in a couple weeks, or not in a couple weeks. In November, we're going to go see him. So I'm excited. He wanted us to come for his birthday, but I just couldn't work it out. So we'll be there. I wish he was closer. Ohio and California are so far apart. But he does a good job there, and he really loves it there. So there's that. But it is hard as a mom. You know, your mom's hard. So, I think it was harder when he moved out than Jenny, my first one. When he went to college, and then when he finally moved out for good, when he graduated, and he got a job. He was very, I guess because he was, you know, I mean, I only had 2, but he was the last one left, and it was kind of like, it was sad. I know you went through it, but then we started having grandkids, and they never go home, it seems like, so we've got this thing up here, and it is. I wish he would have wore a suit. I offered to take him and buy a suit. I'm like, Grandma, we'll buy you a suit. And he's like, that's not the problem, Grandma. So this is 9804, and this is the small. So this is the silhouette. Look how pretty that looks there. And then I'm going to put a sweater pattern in here. And I think I'll do that red, maybe with a little black glow in the center, maybe. Dry. And then up here, I'm going to use, ooh, that's too big. I got to get a smaller brush for the nose. I think I'm going to use a micro, and I'm just going to pick up just a wee little bit of that red paint there. And I'm going to really offload it on this micro brush. And I may have to do this a couple times, but this first reindeer, I'm going to give him a glow around his nose. Because you know his nose is glowing bright. He's leading the sleigh. Run, run, Rudolph, right? That's a nice song too. And I don't want like solid, but I want pretty much of a glow like around his nose, just leading Santa and his reindeer. And then we're going to do the sweater right here. So, oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I don't know why it would be breaking up. But we have a little bit, let me show you, a little bit of a glow. So his nose has just a little bit of a glow there, if you can see that. Just a little touch. And then in the middle here, we're going to put a sweater pattern, which I love the sweater patterns. And I'm going to use this one here. So this is the poinsettia one. And I'm going to try and kind of center it there. I probably could have cut this a little bit shorter. Okay. I want to make sure it's straight. It's hard when I'm doing it from the side. Is the sound still? Oh, I hope not either. It's hard to tell. I feel like every week it's something new with the book. I am going to do, so I'm going to get my bigger brush, and I'm just doing this in a couple colors. So I'm going to again get this red, and I'm going to offload it really good, because apparently I had way too much paint. And I'm just going to do to here. So I should probably, I'm going to use, I could get tape, but I'm also going to use this freebie and just put it here. So I don't go over. And I'm going to do it all in red, but I think the center here of these sweaters I'll make black. Maybe. We'll see. But you can do that. You can use other stencils to just block it off. Lots of times you don't have to, but this is a bigger brush. So this bigger brush would go into the other part of the pattern. And this is just like one of those things where you could add buffalo check, a sweater pattern, some Christmas trees. There's so many different ones. It's okay. And I'm going to give that another. Oh, Kimberly said she went out and came back in and it was good. So Sherry says she'll be right back. And if you have not sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle, please. We're giving away that frosty stencil. I'm sorry, I can't control things like that. I try my best. And again, you can go over your stencil, but please make sure to move it around. Don't stay in one place long. And I need to get my freebie here. And I'm going to do another coat here. And I think the center there, I might make those black. I might even go around this and put a little black tint to it too. I'm not sure. I'll take a peek and see what I think. I'm just not sure. Are you liking this project so far? I know I got, at least what I saw, I got one answer of Charlie Brown being a favorite, and then there was something in the White Lion, which I had never heard of. But what was your favorite? You know what commercial I really liked at Christmas time? I love the Santa, and it looked like the same Santa that was in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but he would be on that Norelco razor, and he'd be going down the snow pile. Those things you always look for as a kid. It's weird, the things that stick in your head. The memories, you know. Thank you, Marie. I think I'm going to do a little bit of black over it, just a little around, like the edges and the center. And again, I'm just doing a quick dry here. So are we Christmas crafting? This is my first official Christmas craft this year. But it'll be Christmas from now on, I think. So I'm just gonna, like, in the center here, where like the little cross is at. Let me take a peek. And maybe not like fully. Oop, I better get my, yep, not fully. I'm gonna go around. So it's kind of variegated, this black and red around the edges. It's kind of like tie-dye looking. It's not, it's variegated. It's not just solid black. It has that red underneath. I think I need to get a little bit more black there. Oh my goodness, it's 10 till 5. This never happens. I don't know what to do. This is early. Okay, I'm going to take a peek. And I think these in the middle too, I'm going to kind of like swirl up just a little bit. It's not all, it's got that red underneath, so you'll see that. I like that a lot. Okay. And then, like I said, if you don't like something, it's just paint right over what you just did. So I did that. What do you think about that? I'll bring it up a little closer, and I am going to extend it over. But let's take a look here. See how that's kind of like black and red. It's got a little bit of that red showing through the black, but you've got the red letters. Old School Grinch. Christmas in August. Oh my goodness. You're still working on Halloween? I had to throw my unwanted out Halloween back in. I just didn't get to them. I'm like, next year. So I think I'm going to line this up here. Okay, so see how I line that up? And I am going to finish this off around the side. I do like to do that. So I'm going to get my red brush first, because it didn't quite go to the edge. So let's get my red brush and get some offloaded. And it lines up just perfect. And we'll bring it to the edge. And I am going to flip it. I need to untape it though. So you keep it lined up. And make sure it's lined up. And we're going to flip it. Just like that. I hope this is in the camera. I think it kind of is. And so I'm going to go up that side, and then I'll lay it back down. And then we'll do a quick dry. That always looks cool when you wrap things around the side of your piece. So you just have to like line it up is all. So I'm going to do one more coat of red here. My goodness, come on. Get a little bit more paint. And then we'll add that black in it. I'm just going there. And then we're going to flip it again to the side, and you just line it up. And it can be a little hard at first, but you kind of get the hang of it after you do it a couple times. You might hear Bob over there playing. Oh, I didn't realize I had another piece of tape on it. My neighbor, he's out with his dog. He's out there playing with Jesse. And I just lift that up, and I'm going to add a little bit of black to the same spots. And then I'll do this side. And if you're new, please say hello, welcome. Make sure to follow me. Make sure to follow the Stencil Smith. Make sure to join us on Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith, where we share all of our paintings that we do. And I'm going to flip that over and get like the center of that flower and those two blocks. So I will show you, and then I'll do the other side, but how that kind of turned out. But it just kind of extends it. So see how it, instead of just ending like right let's see, trying to get it in the camera. So instead of just ending right there, I extended it as a pattern and then worked it along the side. And it looks really cool when it's standing there. It's just one of those little extra touches that you can add to your pieces that really look nice. And I'm actually going to turn this way towards me and work on this side here. See if I can line it up correctly. But it's just a really neat way to extend your patterns and make them look super cool. And I think when you're in a show or, you know, you've got a booth or anything like that, it's those extra touches when you go the extra mile that set you apart from other people. Ooh, I got way too much on my brush. Way too much. Okay, so I'm lining this up again. I think let's see. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to get it in the camera. Okay. Sometimes it's hard. I go out of the camera and I don't realize it. And I've done other things and you guys have been yelling at me like, stop. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I will flip it. Just like so. And do the side. And I'm just holding that. You could tape it down if you're more comfortable with that. But see how I'm just... It can be difficult to do it first just because you haven't done it. And I'm gonna do it one more time and then I'll add the black and then we'll have that sweater pattern all the way. I won't close the bridges on camera. I'll just close them on the ands and show you, and I'll do the words after because there's a lot of words and I don't want to keep you like that long to close all these bridges. It won't take me super long, but it'll take long enough. And you guys, at least here in my area, it's like dinner time, getting dinner time and stuff like that. I know my sister, she's always, oh, why do you go live at 4 o'clock? But now it's like the time I go live, at least it's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. She says, because that's when I'm, you know, starting dinner, and but she listens to me. Okay, and then I'm gonna just do a quick dry again and I'll add the black and I'll just close the bridges on those ands. Hopefully I have that straight. If not, I'm in for a surprise, right? It'll be Rudolph in his crooked sweater pattern. That would be a bummer. That's when the sander comes in handy. Sometimes it's hard working from all these different angles. So I'm just kind of getting there. I'm not getting the flower, but I'm going to flip it over and line it up and get these blocks here and the little inside. So again, we've got the pattern coming over the board, which looks kind of cool. And I just left the back of the board black. So I am going to get, let's see, I'll move you back this way. I am going to get my liner brush out and I will close just the ands here. So when I'm closing the bridges, what I'm talking about is like right here. If you can see the little gaps, you don't have to do this, but it's where the where she has to put a little bridge to keep the letters, like this circle would fall out and you wouldn't have an O. You just have a circle. So I like to close those bridges. You don't have to, but I will show you those couple of ands there, and then we'll move on. So I'm going to get my liner brush, and of course they are Stencil Smith, but let me see. I don't want one quite that big. Probably want, I want the double zero. I'll get the 0. And I do like to dip it in a little water before I start. And so like this one right here, I'm going to do right there. And I'll get a little bit of black paint. And black is the easiest bridge to close. And then I'll tap it on a piece of chalk towel. So when you lay it down, you lay a big block of paint down. And you just work that in there. And close the bridge. I'll get this one over here. It's really simple. And I get this one right here, and I think that's all like the black bridges there are. So I need a little bit more paint. And again, I'll just dab it. And then I like to start in the middle of the bridge and work outward. Again, so you don't have a big glob of paint in your outer edge. I can't speak. You can spread out. Okay, so I close that bridge. I'll close the red bridges after the live because that will take forever. But I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you the finished product. Let's see here. Not trying to make you ill. Okay. I should get my tape off. Okay, but what do you think? Do you like this? We got all the reindeer, the sweater pattern, the Santa at the top. You could put some twine on there with some bells if you wanted. That would look really cute. Thank you, Becca. Thank you, Becky. But yeah, so I like it. And then we did a little bit of, we made Rudolph's nose glow. We brought the sweater pattern like around the sides. Just little things. So I like it a lot. I could have done all these letters in black too. Which maybe I should have, like, now I'm like second guessing myself and just done Rudolph and red in red. But I like it the way it is. And I like it with the distressing and all that stuff. So, but this one, thank you, is on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And if you use my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK, you'll save an additional 15%. I'm trying to find Frosty here. So this is, we're going to do a little show and tell, but this is what the giveaway, this is the giveaway today. Frosty's baby picture. I didn't have any like little Rudolph ones, but I thought since we were doing Rudolph, we had to acknowledge Frosty too. So thank you, Pamela. I will show you just a couple of the sweater patterns that I have here. I'm not going to take them out of my thing, and then I'll show you the stencils I had set aside for show and tell. But let me see if I can get the book up here. So like you just type in sweater patterns, but look at this one, how cute that is. With the, it's got the poinsettias and it's got snowflakes, trees, deer. That one's adorable. This is the, probably the sweater border pattern or something like that. But it's got a little bit of everything. And then this one here is so cute. It's got ho, 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 trees. Like these would just make great backgrounds. Oh, that's the Winston Churchill one. Whiskey. It's kind of funny. Let me grab it. This one didn't sell at the show. So this is a great one. Whiskey has killed more men than bullets, but most men would rather be full of whiskey than bullets. And that's a Winston Churchill quote. I don't know the number of the stencil, but April's going to go get it and put that up there. But this is a fun one for like if you have a bar at home, or you have, we have a local tavern that we go to that we're friends with the owner, and they have really good burgers and stuff, and it's really nice. I'm actually going to give her this one. I'm going to gift it to her for the tavern, the Chardon Tavern. Or I think it's called the Chardon, what is it called now? But it's a really nice place for burgers and stuff like that. Nice local place. But anyhow, April will get the link for that, and you can also save 15% on that one as well with my code. So anything you can save 15% on. But these are the other couple of sweater patterns. You know, just different ones there. Ho ho ho. Some more deer and snowflakes. And I think that's probably it. So those are the sweater patterns I have. But if you just type sweater patterns in the search bar, you will find them. And then I'm going to grab some new ones that I got that are so cute, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to get some water real quick, though. I'm like really dry today. So, but yeah, people get that. But a lot of stencils, if you see them, if you just start typing in like whiskey has killed more men or something like that right in the search bar, it comes up. So April said it's number 8986. So the whiskey one, Patty, is 8986. And thank you, Kimberly. Did Kimberly answer you too? That's great. Everybody's so nice and so helpful. So these are some new ones that I got to do a show and tell at the end. This is really pretty. And I think I want to get a bigger one too, because I want to get one to make on a garden flag. But this is number 10222, and this is the small. Look how pretty that is. Joy to the world. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at, like all the detail on that. It's so pretty. The little branches and berries and just the little curly cues going all around it. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is so pretty. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. And if you haven't sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle, like I said. Okay, this is number 10209, and it's a small. This would be a cute, I think, like on a Christmas tree box. This is a smaller size. You might need a bigger one. But again, I mean, look at that detail. Evergreen acres, Christmas trees, wreaths and garland, and just the like little curly cues they have all around. They almost look like little sleighs or something. I don't know. I fell in love with it when I saw it. I'm all about the details, and nobody does better details than April and Pete. They're really amazing. And then this one I got because when I get her daughter, she's the last person usually that gets something. She's got something like this over there. Everything she wanted that we made for the Halloween show, we sold. But I got it there. I haven't done it yet. But one of the wiener dog, the Doxy, the Halloween one, but this one, look how cute it is. And they have a Doxy named Rosie. So, and look at that. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. So how cute is that? And then you got the little Doxy and the overlay. It's got the little Christmas sweater on. I mean, it doesn't get much cuter than that. And then this one, I am going to put probably on a towel, and I'm probably going to put it on a sweatshirt too. but I just want to drink hot cocoa and watch Christmas movies because there's nothing better. I know if Julie's still on here, she'll be like, oh, she starts watching them early, my friends. This is number 10214, and this is the 9-inch, and I think this would fit perfect on a shirt and also on a flour sack towel. I think it would fit okay on a flour sack towel too, but it's really cute. And then if you know somebody that likes it, of course you can make them a sign, you can make them a cute Christmas bag, anything like that. And then this I do want to make a garden flag out of. I saw this and fell in love with it. 'Tis the Season. This is 10211, and this is a medium. And just look at the gorgeous detail in that. I think it's a pine cone, some poinsettias, greenery, evergreen or whatever berries. It's just, that'll be a beautiful, beautiful garden flag. And that is, like, that and rounds were like the two #1 things that we sold. We sold a bunch of random stuff, but those were the two ones that we sold the most at the show. And of course, who doesn't love a snowman? Now, I'm not a fan of snow. We live in Chardon. We are the snow capital of Ohio. We get a lot of snow. I'm not a fan. I like the first couple, like around Christmas, but like unfortunately for us, it lasts a long, long, long time. But I do love snowmen. So, and I in no way want it to snow. Like, this weather is gorgeous. So this is number 10212. This is the extra large, so it'd fit like on an 18-inch round. But, oh, look at that snowman. Let it snow. And he's got his little head turned up to the sky. And his little scarf on with poinsettias. Little earmuffs. Just adorable. You could do a little like salt wash on his earmuffs or something like that. Give it a little texture. But just adorable. And that's my last one for show and tell today. And I'm going to set those aside so I can put them in their appropriate places after the live. But anyhow, thank you so much for joining. This is the giveaway today, right here. Frosty's baby picture. And this is the sign right here that we did. Again, and it's on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. You save an additional 15% with my code. These two are not on sale, but you can also, and I'll list the numbers of these stencils after the live if you want to order them and the size I used. So that'll be at the top of the description after the live when it publishes. But April is spinning the wheel, and I so appreciate everybody joining us. So she's spinning the wheel right now, and we'll have another we have a real fun one planned next week. Super exciting. Thank you, Angelia. Thank you, Vicki. It landed on Renee Garou. I know I'm probably not saying that correctly, but Renee Garou, Giraux, you are the winner. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we'll be back next week with another fun live. And thank you all. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it so much. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, goodness, I can't reach it. Well, I may see you next week. I can't reach the off button.